So we're talking about barriers to entry, and I'm going to use the example of my company. It's a steel manufacturing company, and there's a bunch of barriers to entry that are related to that. One, we'll talk about first the government regulations that can hinder a company from coming in. Um, we deal with labor unions because old steel manufacturing still has labor unions out there, and so there are they are tough to deal with and have a lot of requirements, and they're looking out for the people, but for a business wise it can be a huge undertaking to have to not only deal with them but come to their terms and agreements. Contract negotiations are take a long time and can be pretty rigorous in what they want done. We also have, because we're dealing with different chemicals, we deal with OSHA. So we have a lot of regulations with our chemicals that we use involved in the process. We actually take old steel that has been come from cars and steel products, and we have them melted down and form agricultural fencing and rebarb and bar products for construction and whatnot. So with that, there are a whole bunch of air emission regulations that we have to abide by. We have to have air permits that we're allowed to only allow so much pollution into the air when we're doing this. We have a bunch of waste management stuff that we have to go through to get rid of the leftover and chemicals and stuff that come out. There's also a huge risk involved in our employees with their safety. So OSHA comes into play with that a lot. And then we've had some major accidents. We're dealing with hot molten steel, and we've had some pretty serious catastrophes. So with knowing that you have to have the ability to have the finances to work with any litigation that comes along, whatnot. So talking about brand loyalty, our agricultural fencing is actually pretty well known and has been around for since the early 1900s. It's called Red Brand, and it is sold throughout the United States. It's pretty popular. So someone having to come in would have to be able to wedge into that market that we have a high market in. Also, we do specialty wires for electronics and cars, so that we're pretty predominant in, and they would have to be able to come into that. We also have the economy affects us a great deal. So interest rates, we have to worry about those affect the steel because people can't buy and use the products they're using construction and again horses, ranches, all of that. So if people can't get loans that they need to build, then you don't have good steel prices, which is where we're at right now. Also, the tariffs are huge. Some of that's going on right now with the president putting tariffs on Mexico. Imports from steel has cut pricing, but it also is going to hurt us because we can't export. And there is some exporting of steel that goes on for us too. Luckily, we have products that are used in roads, and those are all made in the USA only. So anything that goes on our roads and our bridges in the US, it has to be US made steel. So that is one thing that keeps others from other countries coming in is a big part of ours has to be made in the US. So those are a few of ours. Again, labor is intensive. Equipment is expensive. Maintenance that equipment is expensive. So there's a lot of factors that go into it, and the steel industry is not an easy thing to come into. So that's it. Thanks. Bye.